Welcome to our new SERU mock test training. In this video we will show you 30 practice questions from the TFL SERU assessment. These questions are specifically selected from Section 8 of the TfL PHV Driver Handbook. Make sure you watch the video as many times as needed to learn the questions, as it's very likely that you will have some of them on your assessment too. More videos with the latest assessment questions will be uploaded in the channel, so don't forget to watch them too. Now let's start with question number 1. What must PHV drivers do regarding reasonable adjustments for disabled passengers? A. Provide adjustments only if they book the service through your operator. B. Offer reasonable adjustments appropriate to the passenger's needs. C. Provide adjustments only if the disability is visible. D. Only offer adjustments when the passenger explicitly requests it. The correct answer is B. Offer reasonable adjustments appropriate to the passenger's needs. Reference: Section 8, TfL PHV Driver Handbook. Drivers must make reasonable adjustments for disabled passengers. Question number 2. Which behavior complies with TfL equality requirements? A. Treating all passengers fairly regardless of disability or background. B. Serving passengers based on the driver's personal comfort level as per guide. C. Avoiding passengers who appear difficult to deal with. D. Treating all passengers fairly regardless of disability or background, and always prioritize kids first. The correct answer is A. Treating all passengers fairly regardless of disability or background. Reference: Section 8, TfL PHV Driver Handbook. Drivers must not refuse a passenger because of disability or any protected characteristic. A refusal is only justified where the passenger poses a genuine safety risk. Question number 3. What is the legal requirement regarding assistance dogs, according to the TfL PHV Driver Handbook? A. Allow them only if the dog is wearing visible identification. B. Carry assistance dogs only if carried in a safety carrier with a passport. C. Carry assistance dogs only if they are carried in a safety carrier. D. Carry assistance dogs at no additional cost. The correct answer is D. Carry assistance dogs at no additional cost. Reference: Section 8, TfL PHV Driver Handbook. Drivers must carry all assistance dogs accompanying a disabled passenger, and must not make any additional charge. Question number 4. Under what condition may a PHV driver refuse an assistance dog? A. If the dog is large and looks aggressive. B. Only if the driver holds a valid TfL medical exemption. C. Only if the passenger holds a valid TfL medical card. D. The driver must not refuse an assistance dog under any circumstances. The correct answer is B. Only if the driver holds a valid TfL medical exemption. Reference: Section 8. TfL PHV Driver Handbook. Drivers must carry all assistance dogs accompanying a disabled passenger. A driver may only refuse an assistance dog if they hold a valid medical exemption. Issued by Transport for London. Question number 5. How should a PHV driver communicate with a passenger who has difficulty expressing themselves? A. Speak as loudly as you can until understood. B. Ask questions and contact your operator if anything is not understood. C. Ask clear, simple questions and allow extra time for replies. D. Avoid asking questions to prevent confusion. The correct answer is C. Ask clear, simple questions and allow extra time for replies. Reference: Section 8. TfL PHV Driver Handbook. Be patient and give the passenger time to express themselves. Some passengers may have difficulty communicating. Question number 6. When is refusal of service for PHV drivers permitted under equality duties? A. If the driver feels uncomfortable with the passenger. B. Only when the passenger may pose a genuine safety risk. C. Only when the passenger poses a genuine safety risk. D. When the passenger isn't polite enough. The correct answer is C. Only when the passenger poses a genuine safety risk. Reference: Section 8. TfL PHV Driver Handbook. Drivers must not refuse a passenger except where they pose a real safety risk. Question number 7. What assistance must a PHV driver give to a passenger with mobility issues? A. Support them safely but without lifting their body. B. Support them safely by lifting their body if required. C. Support them safely and lift their body if requested. D. Support them safely and always lift their body if possible. The correct answer is A. Support them safely but without lifting their body. Reference: Section 8. TfL PHV Driver Handbook. Drivers should provide appropriate assistance to disabled passengers, but must not lift or carry them, as doing so could cause injury to both the passenger and the driver. Question number 8. How should a PHV driver guide a visually impaired passenger? A. Offer your arm and walk at their pace. B. Offer your hand and walk at their pace. C. Walk ahead and let them follow your voice. D. Allow the dog to guide the person alone as per guidance. The correct answer is A. Offer your arm and walk at their pace. Reference. Section 8. TfL PHV Driver Handbook. If the passenger is blind or partially sighted, offer your arm and allow the passenger to walk at their own pace. Question number 9. How should a PHV driver respond when a passenger may have a hidden disability? A. Provide assistance only after the passenger confirms their condition. B. Offer support in a sensitive manner, avoiding assumptions about the passenger's needs. C. Request a medical card before offering any form of help. D. Treat the passenger as not requiring assistance unless there is a visible mobility aid. The correct answer is B. Offer support in a sensitive manner, avoiding assumptions about the passenger's needs. Reference. Section 8. TfL PHV Driver Handbook. Some disabilities are not visible. Drivers must be prepared to offer assistance sensitively and without making assumptions. Question number 10. How should a PHV driver manage wheelchairs or mobility aids during a journey? A. Allow the passenger to manage all equipment independently, unless the disability is visibly apparent. B. Provide appropriate assistance with the equipment where possible, without lifting or physically supporting the passenger. C. Provide appropriate assistance with the equipment where possible, and physically supporting the passenger on request. D. Allow the passenger to manage all equipment independently, unless the disability is visibly apparent. The correct answer is B. Provide appropriate assistance with the equipment where possible, without lifting or physically supporting the passenger. Reference. Section 8. TfL PHV Driver Handbook. Drivers should offer assistance with equipment where possible, but must not lift or carry the passenger. Question number 11. What is the appropriate way for a PHV driver to offer assistance to a passenger who may require support? A. Provide help immediately based on what the driver believes the passenger needs. B. Offer assistance only when there is a clearly visible disability or mobility aid. C. Avoid offering assistance unless the passenger directly requests it. D. Ask the passenger first, then provide assistance in the manner the passenger prefers. The correct answer is D. Ask the passenger first, then provide assistance in the manner the passenger prefers. Reference. Section 8. TfL PHV Driver Handbook. Drivers must always ask the passenger before offering assistance, and should provide help in a way that meets the passenger's expressed preference. Question number 12. When transporting a passenger who may have cognitive or emotional disabilities, how should a PHV driver respond? A. Limit conversation and avoid engagement to prevent misunderstanding. B. Advise the passenger respectfully to manage their emotions to avoid delays or complications. C. Remain patient, calm, and avoid engagement to prevent misunderstanding. D. Remain patient, calm, and considerate, adapting communication to the passenger's needs. The correct answer is D. Remain patient, calm, and considerate, adapting communication to the passenger's needs. Reference: TfL PHV Driver Handbook. Section 8. Drivers should remain patient, calm, and considerate towards passengers who may have cognitive or emotional disabilities, and should adapt their communication appropriately. Question number 13. What must a PHV driver do to meet their equality obligations when carrying passengers? A. Provide the same service to every passenger without making any adjustments, regardless of need. B. Provide the same standard of service to every passenger, and make reasonable adjustments for disabled passengers, only when a medical exemption card is shown. C. Provide an equal standard of service to all passengers, while making reasonable adjustments for those who require them. D. Provide an equal standard of service to all passengers, while making reasonable adjustments for passengers under 16 years of age. The correct answer is C. Provide an equal standard of service to all passengers, while making reasonable adjustments for those who require them. Reference: TfL PHV Driver Handbook. Section 8. Drivers must provide an equal standard of service to all passengers, and make reasonable adjustments where required to support those with disabilities. Question number 14. What should a PHV driver understand about supporting passengers with different disabilities? A. Different disabilities may require different forms of reasonable adjustments, depending on the passenger's individual needs. B. Reasonable adjustments apply only to passengers with physical or mobility-related disabilities. C. Most disabilities require the same type of assistance, so adjustments rarely need to vary. D. Assistance is necessary only when the disability is outwardly visible or clearly identifiable. The correct answer is A. Different disabilities may require different forms of reasonable adjustments, depending on the passenger's individual needs. Reference: TfL PHV Driver Handbook. Section 8. Disabilities affect individuals differently, and the type of assistance or adjustment required will vary from passenger to passenger. Question number 15. How should a PHV driver interpret the way disabilities impact passengers? A. Disabilities tend to affect passengers in broadly similar ways, so assistance needs rarely differ. B. Only disabilities that involve physical mobility issues require different forms of assistance. C. Variations in assistance are needed only when the disability is visible or clearly identifiable. D. Disabilities can affect passengers in different ways, meaning the type and level of assistance required may vary. The correct answer is D. Disabilities can affect passengers in different ways, meaning the type and level of assistance required may vary. Reference: TfL PHV Driver Handbook. Section 8. Disabilities affect individuals differently, and the assistance required will vary from passenger to passenger. Question number 16. Which principle must a PHV driver follow regarding their attitude toward passengers with disabilities? A. Assistance should be based primarily on the driver's personal interpretation of what the passenger appears to need. B. Personal beliefs, assumptions, or preconceived views must not influence the assistance or service provided to any passenger. C. Support should be prioritized for passengers whose needs seem simpler to accommodate. D. Assistance should be offered only when a disability is clearly visible or accompanied by an identifiable aid. The correct answer is B. Personal beliefs, assumptions, or preconceived views must not influence the assistance or service provided to any passenger. Reference: TfL PHV Driver Handbook. Section 8. Drivers must not allow their personal views, assumptions or beliefs to influence how they treat or support passengers with disabilities. Question number 17. Which driver behavior correctly reflects the required approach when an assistance dog accompanies a passenger? A. Avoiding any verbal, physical, or visual cues that could divert the assistance dog from its trained responsibilities. B. Limiting interaction with the dog unless minimal engagement is needed to maintain calm during the journey. C. Minimizing distraction to the dog only after assessing whether the passenger relies on it during the journey. D. Restricting contact with the dog, except when subtle reassurance appears appropriate for the circumstances. The correct answer is A. Avoiding any verbal, physical, or visual cues that could divert the assistance dog from its trained responsibilities. Reference: TfL PHV Driver Handbook. Section 8. Drivers must not distract an assistance dog and should allow it to perform its trained role without interference. Question number 18. What key objective should PHV drivers understand about the role of accessible transport within their duties? A. It encourages passengers to rely less on private cars and choose PHV travel instead. B. It helps reduce compliance issues and operational complaints within the PHV sector. C. It ensures passengers with disabilities can reach essential services and maintain independent living. D. It allows PHV drivers to manage their workload more efficiently by prioritizing certain journey types. The correct answer is C. It ensures passengers with disabilities can reach essential services and maintain independent living. Reference: TfL PHV Driver Handbook. Section 8. Public transport plays an important role in opening up opportunities for people with disabilities by providing access to education, employment, healthcare, leisure facilities, and social networks, and enables many people to live independently. Question number 19. When an older or disabled passenger is accompanied by another person, how should a PHV driver direct their communication? A. Address the accompanying person first to simplify the interaction unless told otherwise. B. Communicate with whichever individual appears more responsive or easier to engage with. C. Speak directly to the older or disabled passenger, even when a companion is present. D. Wait for the companion to initiate the conversation before offering any communication. The correct answer is C. Speak directly to the older or disabled passenger, even when a companion is present. Reference: TfL PHV Driver Handbook. Section 8. Drivers should speak directly to the older or disabled passenger, rather than addressing the person accompanying them. Question number 20. Before setting off with an older or disabled passenger, what should a PHV driver confirm? A. Comfort has been established and the seatbelt secured appropriately. B. Comfort has been established and the seating position arranged appropriately. C. Comfort has been established and the payment arrangement confirmed appropriately. D. Comfort has been established and the luggage placement organized appropriately. The correct answer is A. Comfort has been established and the seatbelt secured appropriately. Reference: TfL PHV Driver Handbook. Section 8. Drivers should be patient and ensure the passenger is comfortable and has their seatbelt fastened before the journey begins. Question number 21. Before driving off, which PHV driver action best reflects the expected pre-departure practice for passenger support? A. Asking the passenger to confirm readiness through the operator application. B. Asking the passenger whether they have all of their belongings before the vehicle moves off. C. Asking the passenger to review their luggage only when the journey is expected to be long. D. Asking the passenger about their belongings only if this does not risk delaying departure. The correct answer is B. Asking the passenger whether they have all of their belongings before the vehicle moves off. Reference: TfL PHV Driver Handbook. Section 8. Drivers should support passengers by asking whether they have all their belongings before the journey begins, helping to ensure nothing is left behind. Question number 22. What is the legal requirement regarding guiding disabled passengers? according to the TfL PHV Driver Handbook? A. Provide guidance covering changes in level, curbs, door positioning, and the immediate walking environment. B. Provide guidance focused mainly on potential movements of the vehicle, such as braking or swerving. C. Provide guidance only in response to a direct request from the passenger. D. Provide guidance to the passenger only if an assistance dog is not present. The correct answer is A. Provide guidance covering changes in level, curbs, door positioning, and the immediate walking environment. Reference: TfL PHV Driver Handbook. Section 8. Drivers must tell passengers where they are going and warn them about dangers, such as curbs, door movement, and changes in level. This applies when assisting disabled passengers, including those with assistance dogs. Question number 23. A passenger appears unable to follow verbal instructions and repeatedly indicates difficulty hearing. What is the most appropriate communication method for a PHV driver to use? A. Raising the volume of speech while continuing to give instructions in the usual way. B. Providing the information in writing or communicating clearly, while facing the passenger to support lip reading. C. Seeking assistance from another individual to convey the instructions on the passenger's behalf. D. Simplifying verbal instructions to minimize the likelihood of further misunderstanding. The correct answer is B. Providing the information in writing or communicating clearly, while facing the passenger to support lip reading. Reference: TfL PHV Driver Handbook. Section 8. Drivers may need to write information down for passengers with hearing difficulties. Face them so they can see their lips, and speak clearly when giving instructions. Question number 24. During a diversion that results in an unexpected delay, an elderly passenger becomes visibly anxious. What is the appropriate PHV driver response? A. Provide a clear explanation of the delay and the route change to reassure the passenger. B. Provide a clear explanation of the delay without referencing the route change. C. Provide a clear explanation only when the passenger requests further details. D. Provide a clear explanation to the operator rather than directly to the passenger. The correct answer is A. Provide a clear explanation of the delay and the route change to reassure the passenger. Reference: TfL PHV Driver Handbook. Section 8. Passengers with learning disabilities may become worried during the journey. Drivers should be patient, offer reassurance, and explain any changes when needed. Question number 26. A vision-impaired passenger asks you to confirm the fare and provide their change. What is the appropriate action for a PHV driver? A. State the fare clearly and count the change directly into the passenger's hand. B. State the fare clearly and place the change somewhere accessible for them to locate. C. State the fare clearly and advise the passenger to verify the amount through the operator application. D. State the fare clearly and hand over the change without verbal explanation. The correct answer is A. State the fare clearly and count the change directly into the passenger's hand. Reference: TfL PHV Driver Handbook. Section 8. Drivers should clearly state the fare and assist vision-impaired passengers by counting coins and notes directly into their hand. Question number 27. A passenger with limited English is unable to follow your verbal instructions about their luggage. What is the most appropriate method of communication? A. Increasing the volume of your verbal instructions to make them easier to follow. B. Using written communication so the passenger can read and understand the instructions. C. Seeking assistance from another person to interpret the instructions on your behalf. D. Continuing verbal communication only and ending the journey if the misunderstanding persists. The correct answer is B. Using written communication so the passenger can read and understand the instructions. Reference: TfL PHV Driver Handbook. Section 8. Drivers should carry a pen and paper, as writing information down can help passengers who do not speak much English or have difficulty following spoken instructions. Question number 28. You are dropping off a wheelchair user, and the nearest available pavement has a noticeable slope. What is the most appropriate action for a PHV driver? A. Proceed with the drop-off at the sloped area, as long as you remain beside the passenger. B. Allow the passenger to choose the sloped area, even if it presents stability risks. C. Identify an alternative location that avoids a sloped pavement and provides a safer surface for the passenger. D. Use the sloped area but maintain physical control of the wheelchair throughout the drop-off. The correct answer is C. Identify an alternative location that avoids a sloped pavement and provides a safer surface for the passenger. Reference: TfL PHV Driver Handbook. Section 8. Drivers should identify a safe place for wheelchair users to get in or out of the vehicle and avoid locations where the pavement is on a slope. Question number 29. During a journey, a passenger begins using discriminatory or insulting language toward another individual on the basis of a protected characteristic. Under equality requirements, how must a PHV driver respond? A. Consider the remarks a personal matter between passengers and continue the journey without comment. B. Attempt to ease tension by redirecting the conversation without addressing the discriminatory language. C. Identify the behavior as unacceptable under equality rules and intervene appropriately to ensure it does not continue. D. Allow the remarks to continue during the journey and raise the issue only after reporting to the operator later. The correct answer is C. Identify the behavior as unacceptable under equality rules, and intervene appropriately to ensure it does not continue. Reference: TfL PHV Driver Handbook. Section 8. It is unacceptable for anyone to use language or behave in a way that discriminates against another person on the basis of protected characteristics. Question number 30. You are operating a wheelchair-accessible vehicle, WAV, and receive a booking for a wheelchair user. What requirement must already be satisfied before you accept the journey? A. The vehicle's accessibility equipment must be checked only immediately before it is put into use. B. The vehicle's accessibility equipment must be fully operational and ready for use at all times. C. The passenger must provide their own wheelchair restraints or securing straps for the journey. D. The booking should be declined if the accessibility equipment has not been used recently. The correct answer is B. The vehicle's accessibility equipment must be fully operational and ready for use at all times. Reference: TfL PHV Driver Handbook. Section 8. Drivers must ensure all accessibility equipment is in good working order and available for use at any time when carrying a wheelchair user. More videos with the latest assessment questions will be uploaded to the channel, so don't forget to watch them too. Remember that all of the questions in the SERU assessment are from the TfL PHV Driver Handbook, and link to the full handbook training will be left in the description below. Thanks for watching.